Hello and welcome to Levant TV Headlines. The Islamic State jihadist group has abducted women and children from Iraq's Yazidi minority, distributed them as spoils of war, and forced them into sexual slavery, driving some to suicide. Nearly 300 cultural heritage sites have been destroyed, damaged, and looted in Syria since its conflict broke out in 2011, the UN says in a report citing satellite evidence. Tunisia's leader, Beji Said Essebsi, says the country has turned the page on dictatorship after a presidential vote that rounded off its transition to democracy. An Algerian television network has reported that the army has killed the leader of the Jund al-Khalifa jihadist group behind the beheading of a Frenchman in September. And Saudi Arabia's oil minister, Ali al-Naimi, says OPEC will not cut oil production, even if the price drops to $20 a barrel, and it is unfair to expect the cartel to reduce output if non-members do not. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting with the Egypt Independent, which leads reporting that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has held his first meeting with the presidents of Chinese universities, calling on the Chinese professors to provide more scholarships for Egyptian students and enhance bilateral cooperation in the fields of education and training. The paper also reports that new intelligence chief, Major General Khalid Fazi's name occupied the top searches on the Google engine starting in the early hours of Sunday morning, as Egyptians showed interest in knowing information about the successor of Major General Mohammed Farid Tohami. UAE's Khalij Times leads reporting that Pakistan plans to execute around 500 militants in coming weeks, officials said on Monday, after the government lifted a moratorium on the death penalty in terror cases following a Taliban school massacre. The paper also reports that veteran politician Beji Said Essebsi has won Tunisia's first free presidential election, official results showed on Monday, but rioting broke out in one southern city, with police firing tear gas to disperse hundreds of youths who burned tires and blocked streets to demonstrate against the victory of an official from Ben Ali's old guard. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads reporting that Hezbollah's deputy chief has announced that the group will start taking action for the release of the Lebanese servicemen held by jihadis, but will not disclose any details to the media. The paper also reports that a 22-year-old Brazilian man has been arrested at Beirut airport for smuggling 14 kilograms of cocaine. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Independent leads its Middle East news, reporting that the Kingdom of Jordan has revealed it has hung 11 people on Sunday after the country's ban on convictions was lifted. Jordan's Interior Ministry said the 11 men who were convicted of murder were the first people to be executed in 8 years. And the Telegraph reports that a report by Amnesty International says women and girls from Iraq's Yazidi minority endured horrors at the hands of Islamic State group extremists after they were taken as slaves last summer, leaving them deeply traumatized. The London-based group said the captives, including girls aged 10 to 12, faced torture, rape, forced marriage, and were sold or given as gifts to fighters. The Guardian leads its Middle East news, reporting that political veteran Beji Said Essebsi has been confirmed as the winner of Tunisia's first free presidential, after winning just over 55% of votes, defeating incumbent Monsef Marzouki. On the streets of the capital, Tunis, Marzouki supporters were largely resigned to the result, although some expressed a determination that the new freedoms gained in the 2011 revolution should not be allowed to slide. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the international papers. From China, the Global Times reports that a Houthi member has been killed and 2 others injured in a series of explosions in the Yemeni capital of Sana'a this morning. About 5 explosive devices targeting the houses of the Houthi group leaders in central Sana'a went off at dawn, with no one yet claiming responsibility for the attacks. And finally, Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that the United Nations Institute for Training and Research says that detailed analysis of satellite imagery shows that nearly 300 cultural heritage sites in Syria have been damaged, many severely by the country's civil war. The report said that UNESCO World Heritage sites in Aleppo, Damascus, and the ancient city of Palmyra and the Crusader castle, known as Crac des Chevaliers, had sustained major damage. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.